of the most powerful flight teams on Earth, the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds, flying together over the heart of New York City on May 2024. The U.S. Navy's elite aerial demonstration squadron, the Blue Angels and the U.S. Air Force's Air Combat Command's premier aerial demonstration team, the Thunderbirds joined forces for a once-in-a-lifetime flyover event over New York City. The show of strength and unity left millions in awe as these two iconic teams painted the sky above Manhattan in an unforgettable display of precision flying and patriotism. This wasn't just a flyover, it was a tribute to strength, unity, and the indomitable American spirit. But before we dive into the details of this spectacular event, let's take a closer look at the two teams involved. The Blue Angels, representing the Navy and the Marine Corps, have been thrilling audiences since 1946. Their FA-18 Hornets are not just supersonic jets, they're precision instruments in the sky. Similarly, the Thunderbirds, representing the Air Force, have been showcasing air power since 1953, flying F-16 Fighting Falcons. They demonstrate the power and versatility of these multi-role fighter aircraft. Both teams consist of highly skilled pilots who dedicate their careers to showcasing the very best of military aviation. They train relentlessly, pushing themselves and their machines to the limit to ensure every maneuver is executed flawlessly. So what makes this joint flyover so significant? Let's find out. Starting our journey along the Hudson River, the flyover began with the Thunderbirds soaring from north to south over the iconic Statue of Liberty. These majestic moments were captured in a stunning video released by the official page of the United States Air Force Thunderbirds. As the Thunderbirds F-16s flew past the Lady Liberty, it was hard not to be reminded of the Statue of Liberty's torch, symbolizing freedom and enlightenment. The Thunderbirds planes seemed to carry that same torch of inspiration and pride in their wake. The next stop on this aerial tour was the Brooklyn Bridge, one of America's oldest and most beloved landmarks. Watching the Thunderbirds navigate around this architectural marvel was a sight to behold. The precision required to maintain a safe distance from such a densely populated area is truly commendable. Continuing their route, the Thunderbirds then moved over to Central Park, the heart of New York City. This urban oasis provided a striking contrast to the jets streaking overhead, highlighting both the tranquility of the park and the raw power of the aircraft. The roar of the engines reverberated through the city, momentarily drowning out the urban symphony before fading into the distance as the Thunderbirds moved on to their final landmark, the Empire State Building, another symbol of New York's resilience and grandeur. The sight of these sleek, powerful jets against the backdrop of the iconic building was nothing short of spectacular. It was a moment that made you appreciate the skill of the pilots and the engineering marvel that is modern military aviation. As the Thunderbirds completed their portion of the flyover, the skies above New York City prepared for a new spectacle as the Blue Angels took to the skies. These men and women in their navy blue jumpsuits were ready to etch their own story onto the canvas of the New York sky. Beginning their journey at the southern tip of Manhattan, the Blue Angels flew up the Hudson River, making their way towards the George Washington Bridge. The first leg of the flyover saw them pay homage to another symbol of freedom, the Statue of Liberty. Just like the Thunderbirds, the Blue Angels flew past the iconic structure, their jets gleaming in the sunlight, paying tribute to the enduring spirit of liberty that the statue represents. Continuing their journey north, the Blue Angels reached the Brooklyn Bridge, where they showcased their precision flying by splitting up into two distinct diamond formations, flying in close proximity to each other while maintaining a safe distance from the landmark. This maneuver demonstrated the skill and coordination required to fly such dangerous aircraft so close together in such a congested airspace. As they split up, one group of Blue Angels jets flew over the Manhattan Bridge, while the others continued on to Central Park. These carefully planned routes ensured that millions of New Yorkers and visitors alike got a chance to witness the awe-inspiring sight of these supersonic jets flying in close formation. In Central Park, the Blue Angels took time to honor those who serve on the front lines. the heroes who have been battling tirelessly to keep us safe and healthy. Flying over designated hospitals, the team paid tribute to these unsung heroes, acknowledging their sacrifices and demonstrating the nation's gratitude for their service. The visual impact of the jets flying over the hospital rooftops was both striking and emotional. It was a moment that united people across the city in appreciation for these dedicated individuals. Finally, the Blue Angels made their way to the Empire State Building, the last stop on their flyover route. Here, the team came together, reuniting with the Thunderbirds in a grand finale that showcased the combined power and precision of both teams. The sight of these two elite jet teams flying together above the iconic skyline was breathtaking. It was a fitting end to an extraordinary event that had united the city and the nation. Now let's talk about the experience inside the cockpit. What do these numbers mean for the pilots? Well, let's break it down. G-force is a measurement of the force acting on an aircraft or its occupants in relation to gravity. When these pilots perform aerial maneuvers, they're subjected to gravitational forces that can be multiples of the force they normally experience. For example, a standard maneuver like a loop or a roll can produce between 7 and 9, while more intense ones like inverted maneuvers can reach up to 12 Gs. To put this into perspective, 9 Gs means the pilot is experiencing 9 times the force of gravity. So if they weigh 200 pounds, they effectively feel 800 pounds of force pressing them into their seats. At 12 Gs, that force increases even further. This intense physical pressure requires the pilots to be not only highly trained, but also in peak physical condition. It also necessitates specialized equipment like anti-G suits that help reduce the effects of blood pooling in the legs, a common issue at high G-force levels. This event was more than just a display of aerial prowess. It was a show of solidarity, a message of hope, and a salute to the indomitable spirit of New York and the United States as a whole. It was a clear message to the world that America, much like its skies, is big enough for everyone. There is room for all of us here. Whether we flying high above the clouds in supersonic jets or walking hand in hand on the ground, it was a powerful reminder that diversity doesn't diminish us, it enriches us. The flyover was a resounding success, leaving spectators in awe and inspiring many to reflect on the true meaning of unity, diversity, and the pursuit of dreams. In an era where unity seems like a distant dream, this display of togetherness above New York City was a breath of fresh air. It showed that differences can be bridged and that diversity can be a source of strength, not division. The roaring applause that echoed through the streets of New York after the flyover was not just for the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds, it was for the spirit of unity, equality, and hope that they represented. It was a salute to the idea that America, much like its skies, is big enough for everyone. As the echoes of the jets faded into the cityscape and the crowds dispersed, the message of the flyover resonated loudly in the hearts of all who witnessed it. It was a call to embrace diversity, a reminder to pursue dreams relentlessly, and an inspiration to work towards a brighter, more inclusive tomorrow. If you found this video informative and enjoyed learning about the historic joint flyover by the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds, I invite you to show your support. If you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. By doing so, you'll be the first to know when we release new videos about military aviation, special events, and other exciting topics. Thanks for watching. See you next time.